The action continues in week 3 of the British and Irish Pro League as we head to our second Div 1 match of the night. This one, I think, a little bit locked up from the start, possibly for one of these players, it looks like, Twiggy.
Yeah, a little bit. This should be an interesting one for sure. Well, we'll see what happens. Hey, look, we had a slightly, I mean, it didn't really turn out in a different way than we thought it was going to, but it was closer than we thought on this one. So, look, anything could happen. Let's see. Maybe Acrose has a horrible day.
Yeah, maybe Acrose just hasn't actually opened Manifest yet, and
yeah,
that's going to go very poorly. It seems unlikely, and we are expecting Acrose to walk away with the full 4 points at the end of this match, but that does mean then still a relatively fierce battle behind between Matt, N7, and Josh. N7 qualified with 7th seed into the competition and has had a very rough first couple of weeks. Obviously not being able to play in week 2 and collecting 0 points there, and a 3rd place in week 1. All 3 of these players are currently sitting in the elimination spot. 6 players will be dropped from Div 1 at the end of this season. And with a 2nd place up for grabs here behind Acrose, with all 3 of these players kind of struggling in their opening weeks, this is definitely a chance to pick up 3 points and put yourself back in contention to get away from this elimination zone.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll have to wait and see exactly how that's made use of here. It's going to be a very exciting definitely for the players at the bottom of the leaderboard. There's going to be a really big scrap down there for place, because look, for all of them, none of them have had a result better than 3rd place, so getting a 2nd here is going to happen to one of them at the very least, so it's important that they make it then.
Yeah, and I think especially for N7, who a 3rd place in week 1, again, missing that week 2, picking up a 3rd place here, kind of getting the league back on track a little bit, and, you know, potentially challenging at the end of the season, because N7, 7th place in the seeding, you know, is a solid player, can put in good times, can potentially challenge. We've not necessarily seen that in rounds yet, but this is the chance to kind of do it and to carry a little bit of confidence then into the last 2 weeks, and maybe bring the challenge as well. Just taking a quick look at N7's matches for the final 2 weeks as well. Is going to have to play Jaffa, Floyd, and Liffey in week 4, which is a match that, again, could do quite well in theory. You know, is it the highest seed going into that match? And then in week 5, it's Hendo, Nobody, and Wizzy, which is going to be a very difficult match. So these 2 weeks, week 3 and week 4 for N7, I think really need to be strong performances.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're just waiting for the players to get into the lobby here. Again, I won't say who's missing, but I will say who's here, and that and that is Acrose, Matt, and N7. So you know you can draw your own conclusions from that. Who's late? I'm not gonna snitch on anybody, but
that's true. You have not indicted anyone in particular on this one. Hopefully, we do get a full 4 players into the match for this one. Would be nice to see on that. And then we'll be kicking this match off as soon as we do get them in. Once again, maps remain the same. Worm making its final appearance in British and Irish Pro League 2, into Clueless and into Manifest, which has been a fun fun map to watch so far.
Yeah.
You know, seeing these players kind of drive it in competition, it's led to some very good rounds.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. There's a lot more plastic for one, but also the plastic sections are very kind of precise. I think the last turn especially, you know, it's very easy to clip your wheel on the outside. You need to go quite far inside, even though that's a little bit, you know, you wouldn't want to do that because you lose out on a lot of speed, and then you need the speed for the speed check at the end. I think it's a really, really fun map, and I think these players are going to have an interesting time on this one, considering 3 of these players are towards the bottom of Div 1 right now. I think, you know, they need to be keeping well up to date on the newer maps, because that's probably the way that you're going to overtake Acrose, who is way further up in the league currently.
Yeah, Acrose currently sitting on 6 points, and after a couple of results have already come in from some of these players, could jump all the way up into kind of tied for 3rd place on this one. Not quite tied for 3rd place, but can jump up into an uncontested 4th place after this match with a win in this. So still needs to keep the focus on, right? We're saying Acrose has been performing a lot better than these other players, has been looking very good so far, is expected to take the win here. You still need to get it done. It's easy to lose focus if he's kind of let the attention drift this week because he knew that this was meant to be a softer match than some of his previous weeks have been potentially. Could see a kind of below par performance potentially, and that would be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, especially on Manifest, I think, obviously. since it came out more recently, you need to have been putting in the time recently. And I think players towards the bottom of the leaderboard are going to be more incentivized to do that than players down towards the bottom. But we're going to have to wait a little bit to see that anyway. We're starting things off on Worm once again here, where Acrose has been playing this the whole time. And everybody else, but that does mean that the player who has consistently been performing better is more likely to keep up that performance than anyone else.
Got the full content viewer brain rot set in where, you know, you say something and it just instantly triggers a completely different phrase in my mind, which was, you know, he's been playing this the whole time. And I don't know if you've ever watched any of the new College Humor stuff, the Dropout stuff that they do. Nope. It's great. They have wonderful shows, including Game Changers, which opens with the host saying, you know, here's all our guests and me. I've been here the whole time. As the camera turns to him, which just played in my head very loudly. But okay, hey, here we are. Map is starting off. These players have not been here the whole time, especially Josh. But Josh is here now and is currently sitting in 4th place. N7 sitting in 3rd. Acrose and Matt neck and neck, but Acrose looks to be edging out a little bit of a lead as we head through the middle of the map.
Well, apparently the reason that Josh was not in the lobby is because he was practicing. So we'll have to... Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that does manifest itself into anything. I didn't even mean to... Oh, no, it doesn't. Well, it manifests itself into a wall. That's what it does.
Head first into one as Acrose has pulled out that lead. Again, kind of what we expect to see over the course of this map. Maybe we see the perfect match. It's very unlikely that Acrose wins every round, but we'll keep track of it for now because this is looking like round 1 to Acrose. Matt in 2nd place, N7 will take 3rd, and Josh, a little ways behind, picks up 4th place. But again, that battle place, really, I think what we're keeping our eyes on here, and it's looking close. It's only one round of data to go off, but it's looking pretty close.
Yeah, Matt and N7 were very close together there. Josh, obviously, with the mistake earlier on, falls back a little further, but was not far away from the rest of the pack up until that point. So, important to keep up the pace and try and keep that going. I thought for a second Acrose had a non-starter there, but blinked into existence with everybody else. We'll see. Is the pace going to be good enough round on round, or is everybody a little closer than they let on?
Yeah, a couple of minor connection issues for Acrose, who is occasionally stuttering back a little bit. I'm sure it won't turn into anything worse over the course of this and lead to a massive upset. It'll be totally fine. British internet, notoriously stable. Because it would be pretty exciting if it did.
Oh, sure. Oh.
There goes Matt.
There goes Matt. Same corner as Josh had a problem on earlier as well. So Acrose now well into 1st place, and I mean technically off pure pace. N7 tries to push as hard as possible, hits the outside of the dirt, and Josh almost clips a wheel on the edge there. Acrose is well out ahead. This time Josh gets 2nd.
Yeah, I think solid 2nd place pickup for Josh.
Exactly,
after losing the first round. Yeah, pretty
apart from
much.
Acrose.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is exactly flipped, with N7 staying steady in 3rd place there as well, which means that these players continue to be close. 106, 106, 106. And this is the battle that we want to see, right? We're kind of saying, yeah, Acrose, he probably runs away with this one a little bit. That's certainly the case across the 2 rounds that we've played so far. But these other 3 players, it's such a vital week for them. They want to avoid the bottom 6. You want to stay up in Div 1 if possible, and this could be the match that decides their fate.
Yeah, definitely. So, look, here's the thing. Maybe you don't want to keep your eyes on Acrose. It seems pretty clear so far that Acrose is kind of head and shoulders above the rest, at least in those 2 rounds. Obviously, Acrose can make mistakes as well, but seems to be playing it relatively safe. Yeah, I don't think so. Not possible. Either way, Josh moves on forward. Whoa, lots more speed. I think Acrose had a little difficulty getting the ice off the wheels there and maybe slipped a little more than he would have wanted. Josh is now well up in 1st position, and N7 on Acrose's tail here. N7 goes very tight through there and has to take a lot wider of an angle, so Acrose does not keep it perfect all the way through. Josh gets a 1st position, N7 in 3rd, Matt again in last.
I would have really enjoyed at least keeping the potential perfect game storyline alive for, you know, like a map and a half or so. Would have been quite nice to see. Hey, shout out to all the viewers from Evo. Thank you very much for joining us here. You joined us for the British and Irish Pro League 2, a 5-week-long competition played on 5 maps, 3 of which we're using tonight, where all of the players will play against every other player in their division exactly once. And at the moment, This is Div 1. This is the cream of the crop, although some of these players struggling a little bit in Div 1 at the moment. We're expecting Acrose to take down this match, but very close for second place and potentially relevant as these 3 players struggle to stay out of the bottom 6 and elimination from Div 1.
Statman, tell us how many maps there are.
6 maps. I don't need no correction. I don't need no... Well, I got one from chat.
You don't need no education. Acrose in first position now. Josh right behind. Josh looking to... maybe he has cars on and got distracted by Acrose disappearing.
Jump scared by Acrose disappearing and reappearing in front. Josh drops down into 4th place. N7 close enough behind Acrose, but that is another round win for the Welshman as N7 picks up a 2nd place. Matt in 3rd, Josh in 4th, and hey, we're still staying really, really close to each other here in these 2nd places as we finish up on Worm head towards Clueless.
Yeah, look, it's not perfect from Acrose, drop 4 points, but in the end, still staying well above the rest of them, and that's what really matters. The thing is, perfect scenario, first place, is to have everybody below you on a very similar amount of points, because then one gets eliminated and the other 2 are very close as well, and you don't have to worry about having a 1v1 at the end, which is going to be really tight. You just kind of get one out, and then it's plain sailing.
Yeah, and the easiest way to do that, just win a lot of rounds. Don't
just
lose
win.
many points. Yeah,
just don't crash.
Doing a pretty good job. Apart from the fact that he ruined the perfect game in literally round 3.
Well, maybe that was tactical, you know?
It's
maybe
true. It takes a lot of the pressure off, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Now, if he loses another couple of points, it's not the end of the world.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, less pressure means less mistakes, means better score.
I mean, it's not impossible that Acrose is still clear of 100 points by the time we see the first player eliminated here.
No, not impossible at all.
That's my next target. That's what I'm going. Now that the perfect game is ruined.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
Okay, we're staying above 100 for the first elimination here. Okay.
Speaking of perfect games, you know who's crazy?
My ex and many people. What do you want?
Specifically Shohei Ohtani. That guy is real good at baseball.
Okay, Statman.
You can't... baseball reference in a BIPL stream. That's too niche.
Yeah, but specifically because baseball does this thing where they
life.
do like double headers, so you have to play 2 matches in a single day sometimes, right? Which, first of all, insane.
That sounds
for a professional
almost
sport.
as dumb as cricket.
Yeah, wild. Shohei Ohtani is like one of the few players in baseball who both bats and pitches at an elite level.
Right.
And in baseball, pitching a game where nobody scores a run against you and you stay in for the entire game as a pitcher, very difficult and called a perfect game, right?
I feel
no-hitter.
I feel
Shohei
like
Ohtani pulled one of those off against the team in the first match of the doubleheader, and then in the second match of the doubleheader, hit 2 home runs.
I feel like, you know, when people I feel like the partner listening to their boyfriend, girlfriend,
nice,
whatever,
honey.
talk about their special interest, and you're just like, they're great, you know. Like I'm gonna let them have their thing, and they're great,
I'm glad
you know?
he's interested.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're happy. You know,
it was just a really impressive feat. He's just very good at baseball.
I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just going, look, I'm happy that you have an interest that you're that into. You know,
I don't watch any baseball at all. I just think it's neat for stats.
Okay. My man is just the embodiment of Moneyball. Just doesn't care about the game. It's all about the stats. That's it.
Baseball stats are pretty cool. There's what's that YouTube series? Chart Party by SB Nation is so good. Everyone should watch that. It's just it's a lot of really well presented stats.
Fair enough. To be fair, I'm not like that with football, but I'm more interested in a fantasy league than watching the actual games themselves. You know, I will watch my team's games. I'm a hammer. I will watch their games. Not that interested. I'm not I'm not gonna
Super fan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna put on a tank top and commit domestic abuse if my team loses. But but you get what I mean. You know, I like my team, but I don't care about the rest of it. But I will still keep up with every single stat.
I'm going to bring us back to Trackmania because I have no follow-up to that. Acrose is about to potentially lose a second round across the 6 that we have played so far. Acrose just behind Matt. Might catch him at the end. No touches the wall. Might even get caught by Josh. It's close to the line, and Josh pulls out the snipe to take second place away from Acrose.
Half a tenth as well. Ouch. That is, well, I mean, that's the risk you run in trying to go that tight on the final turn. Still, stat.
That was N7's last place. That was the first time we placed last.
Well, it doesn't seem to be working. Quite impressive, despite the fact. I really hope that everybody could hear your laugh there, because that was actually the most visceral laugh. Oh, that's such a shame. I will imitate it. Immediately as I went, it doesn't seem to be what. Just Thomas goes, like
I think you're missing some high notes in there. It's more of an
yeah. It was very Joker. It was very Joker.
Oh yeah. Man did channel, and not even one of the good Jokers. Like that was definitely the Suicide Squad Joker.
Yes, dude from 50 seconds or 30 seconds from Mars.
Yeah,
Jared Leto. That's it.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Not Jared. My bad.
Name. Hey, Acrose is looking like he's going to come third again. That's 2 rounds in a row. And that kind of not even perfect match, that's long gone as Josh picks up a round win. Acrose dropping towards the 100 points mark. Look, still a massive buffer down to the rest of the field, but slipping a little bit. 2 rounds back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. A bit clueless. Anyway. Did I just hit Thomas stifle a laugh?
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you, Stifle. Okay, good. Everybody could hear that one. I'm glad I can make you laugh. That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
I think your standard for jokes is pretty low. I'm not gonna lie.
Incredibly so. Yeah. I'm not a hard person to make laugh.
Yeah. Hey, you make me feel good about myself. That's all I care about. Either way, Acrose probably not feeling good about himself right now. Gonna need to step things up in this one.
Whoa. Oh boy, that's Josh had a couple of
program, bro. Look, 4th country.
Acrose full crashes.
Hey, look. Hey, the UK has not reached the moon yet. We just got beaten by India. Hey, I'm just saying.
Josh is trying.
5th country to get to the moon. That's all I'm saying.
5th country to get to the moon. Yeah. Josh1248.
It was Russia, the USA. Can't remember what the other one was, and then India, and now the UK has reached the moon.
Acrose also full crashed, N7 then crashed afterwards to allow Acrose to pick up a 2nd place rather than the 3rd that he's been locking in for the last couple of rounds, and that is a bit of a swing there for Josh after a couple of very strong rounds, dropping down into 4th place with an attempted space flight thrown in as well.
Attempted?
Went into orbit,
what are you talking about?
Launched the 2nd stage booster and the lot. That's a little bit chaotic in the last couple of rounds, Twiggy. Yeah. Okay, players do be all over the place.
Yeah, like I think the fact that if you're on the International Space Station there, you would have heard a boom is probably quite worrying. But either way.
Yeah, I'm glad that you went with the spaceflight joke because I saw Josh win a round and then head straight for the pole, and I was thinking like, you go to the club and there's a pole and you start celebrating with your mates, and we've all been there, right? This is a common experience.
I haven't been to many clubs where there are poles. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, there's. So I've been to just actual just like dance clubs that for whatever reason just have poles in the corner, which is. It's always weird.
Is that like an Irish thing? I don't feel like I've never been to a club that isn't a strip club that has poles.
Maybe it's just a good club thing and you're not going to the right place.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've been to many good clubs. I think I've been to a lot of slug and lettuce and stuff like that. Not very high. Yeah, it's a chain. That is a chain of. No. Yeah, that's a chain of clubs in the UK. I don't know.
God damn.
Stat.
Davis.
Matt has finished first twice.
Oh, it was just gonna be Matt has finished. It was like, damn, didn't need to know that.
Brutal.
He has finished second twice. He has finished third twice, and he has finished fourth.
Oh, that's a good stat.
Oh, yeah, that is a good stat.
Well, okay, listen, you could work on your presentation a little bit, maybe. Okay.
He was talking about earlier, before we started, how he's not a caster and therefore it's not his job to be eloquent. So fair enough.
And he's really just proven it there.
Yeah.
Acrose might come forth, although Matt has slowed down a little bit. Acrose allowed back into third place. N7 and Josh, the race up front to 10th between both of them. They drive cleanly so far on this one. And on the plastic, I think N7 with a slightly better line, a little bit deeper, but may have dropped a little bit of speed as a result. Gap will remain relatively consistent, but Josh is holding on to that lead cleanly.
Yeah. Not really able to catch up is N7 right now, and it's a big gap. It's getting even more, almost flipping the car. I think Josh lost out on time because of that. No wheel contact on the ground. All going very wide there. N7 has more speed. Might just get the overtake done. It's going to be so close. Oh, Josh crosses the line 26,000 ahead.
I'm very impressed that Josh managed to save that round, because it was just a very awkward landing onto the dirt. I think a wheel ended up in the wall for the briefest of moments as well, but recovered, and even with slow speed, straightened out and managed to find the straight line out of the final plastic turn in time to hold on by 26 thousandths. And that's another round win for Josh, who currently sits in second place. Acrose is only 30 points ahead. Has dropped a full 30 as well already. This could be going better, but equally it's going perfectly fine at the moment.
Yeah, there's nothing too horrible happening. But look, we're keeping things close. That's a good thing. I think that's a positive for everyone involved. Maybe not the players, but you know, everybody watching right now. Matt gets a little wheel quit there, drops down into 4th position. I thought Acrose just stopped dead on the tracks. No, still well ahead, almost a second now ahead of the rest of the pack. Very promising position to be in. And hey, although we did not get the staying above 100 points before somebody was eliminated, at the very least we might stay above 90.
Ooh, and Josh so quick through the end. N7 with a full crash as well. It's a nice finish from Josh, and I do want to highlight that Josh with... Huh?
Nothing.
It's fine. I just wanted to go back. I wanted to highlight the dirt landing that nearly cost Josh in the previous round, still held on for the win. This round, with slightly slower speed going into the jump, went for the ramp trick, kind of jumping a little bit off to the side to go for a flatter line and land earlier. And that actually is what gave him the speed to chase N7 all the way around that final corner as well. So N7, even without the crash, I think was losing that round to Josh. And it's credit to Josh, who just drove the back half of that map really, really well.
Fair enough. Very cool. Almost Statman material there.
Yeah, analyst man material.
Analyst man material. We're just play-by-play man. We just get more and more wordy as we... I mean, to be fair, that makes sense. There's Statman, very small amount of words.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory. Analyst man, more words. Self-explanatory. Play-by-play man, maximum amount of words. Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate to bring it up, but there is someone who I work with for Rocket League who claimed the title of Statsman probably over a year and a half ago.
Wow.
And is known as Statsman. You know, so I'm just saying, I think we have a bit of a fight on our hands here. There's also a fight down to the finish line on this one. Matt is going to just about hold on. This time, Josh not able to catch up. But we've been seeing wonderful rounds so far on Manifest from all of these drivers. Josh in particular is driving really, really well on the track.
Yes. We should get both Statsmen to appear at XP Evo for a boxing match.
It's so true. We'll get both
for the title of Statman. It's kind of
hard to get both of them there, given they both currently live in the UK and have no intention of going to XP Evo, as far as I know.
All right, we'll get them somewhere else. But look, we can get them in the UK then. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's easier, yeah.
Yeah, we can stream it for XP Evo.
How tall is the other Statsman?
We can get virtual
it's a great
to sponsor
question. Relatively tall. I don't know if that came through on stream, but I was asked how tall. I wasn't just saying virtual, relatively tall.
How tall is virtual?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you at XP Evo.
2 people just disappeared.
Yeah,
okay.
One of them was Acrose, who is struggling a little bit on the respawn, but will make it through this time. Had a respawn at the previous checkpoint, as did Matt. So 2 battles going on at the moment, both separated by a couple of tenths. Josh in front of N7, but a clip on that wall sends Josh behind N7 cleanly into the lead. Josh should still have the speed to stay ahead of the other 2 players who are 3 seconds behind, and Acrose pulling out an advantage over Matt in that one at the moment.
Indeed, N7 going to get that speed check done, finish in first place. Little wait for second. Josh is there. Acrose staying just about ahead of Matt. And yeah, we could do it for a UK LAN. I don't know. We need Trackmania at Insomnia.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to go to another Insomnia.
I probably wouldn't spend any time because I have done every Valorant event for Insomnia. Valorant came out, so I probably wouldn't actually be with the Trackmania because that's all day, every day, unfortunately. But
you can't cast 2 games at once?
I could try.
I think it'd be pretty sick.
Okay, we'll give it a go. Well,
like Valorant will be dead in a year or so anyway, right?
Sure, yeah. It's not like for a completely UK LAN, it's a £10,000 price pool.
No.
Yeah, no. No, it'll be dead. CS2 goated. Valorant dead. So
I really have no horse in this race. I've like never. I think I have probably like 3 hours of lifetime in FPSs.
Damn, that's what I have 1,300 hours in Counter-Strike Go, and probably a good 500 in Valorant right now. I think I might have more hours in Trackmania than Valorant though, because I don't play it that often.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to play like a lot of shooters growing up, you know, like some video games, but no FPSs, and so I just never really.
I didn't play any
genre, you know.
Yeah, I didn't play any until I got my own computer because my parents wouldn't allow it. Yeah. I played a lot of Minecraft as a kid and a lot of racing games as a kid.
Oh yeah, I wasn't a Minecraft kid. I was too old.
I fucking hate when Twiggy brings up being a kid and then doing things that I did as a teenager.
I assume you didn't say that on stream because you swore, but he.
Thomas complained
that I was
how
young.
old he is.
Yeah. Complained that I was young. Well, not that I was young, that he was old. That's
that's how we're going to choose to phrase that.
Yeah, I am the right age. Everyone older than me is old.
I mean, okay, hang on. Have we? I'm younger than you, technically. So whatever. 29th February, leap year. We were discussing this in general earlier as well. It was a great time in general today.
See. Right.
Yeah. Ooh,
so you're what? You're
6 3/4.
Yeah. Okay.
I get a big birthday next year.
Nice.
With all my friends.
Happy birthday! You get 7th birthday.
Yeah.
We do new work.
Oh, Acrose has hit a wall as well. N7, the age I will be turning next year, looking to make the overtake happen over Acrose 17, the age I will be turning next year. But Acrose will cross the line in first place. N7 not quite able to capitalize.
Let's talk here. Are you therefore not allowed to drink? To do other things that may be age restricted?
Look, put it this way. Would you let me join an under-8 rugby team?
Yes.
Alright, well in that case, no, I probably shouldn't be drinking.
I think it would be hilarious. I mean, to be fair, under-8 rugby isn't contact, so...
Well...
It would just be funny.
That's what they think.
Yeah, it wouldn't be until I stepped on the...
Yeah.
Now I really want to see Nua just running around batting 8-year-old kids out of the way in rugby.
That just sounds violent. That's like one of those, those football matches, the show matches they do where it's like 3 pros versus like 58-year-olds.
Oh, I loved seeing the
very different when that sport
funny.
Is full contact rugby.
Yeah, that's fair. Or like, what's like, I don't know. I don't think there's a sport more that would be worse for that in like a popular one than rugby. I don't think there'd be
water
one.
polo.
A lot of kids can swim very well. I feel like if you fielded the right I could swim well at 8 years old. I could definitely do that.
That was a close round. N7 keeping up the pace, but Acrose picks up the win. Very solid there. Just, look, brief check-in with the scores, and then we can get back to podcasting, Twiggy. Acrose is sitting on 84. Match of the day. Everyone else down below 40 at this point. This battle for second place looking like it is going to wrap up over the next couple of maps, maybe before we get back to Worm again. But it's legitimately kind of too close to call at the moment.
Yeah, it really is. This first phase of the game has been going on a lot longer than I expected. I think we're going to have a very high-intensity last couple of eliminations here. Because usually when you find us podcasting before a player is eliminated, it means that things have gotten very close in terms of scores, and nobody's really getting close to 0 very quickly.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Acrose has this big gap over the field is also tricking my brain into being like, this isn't a close match, and then I look at the other three scores and I'm like, oh, wait a second. Which is nice.
It is nice. It is nice. Well, we get a bit of time to ourselves. Right now, Acrose still staying in first position this time. Matt and N7 following closely behind, but it's all going to come down to this final turn. N7 with a little more speed, but obviously when you drop down onto the next section of track, that kind of speed is lost a little bit because you need to turn a little further if you go with an outside turn on that one. So Matt stays out ahead, and those score differences balance out even further.
Acrose in chat has just said, this is a great match. I would love to be watching it, but unfortunately for Acrose, still has to focus on the road, still has to focus on driving a little bit. There's only one possible solution. Acrose needs to start winning by like 10 seconds or so, and then he can watch the finish of every round. But I think that's probably going to be quite tough, you know?
Yes, probably. Well, round on round, it's been going well now, and staying out ahead this time, a much closer round so far. A lot of them have been riddled with like one mistake per round, something like that has made the standings not as close in the round as we would like. And again, we're seeing a large split in the pack, but I think the real way that Acrose has been losing points is just because still, no matter how far ahead, is still driving like you're trying to gain hundredths every single turn, and it does mean that a lot of the time you make a small mistake or even a big mistake, you drop down into second or last place. It gives away a couple of points, but at the very least it's making things interesting.
It really is, and once again, order completely scrambled between rounds. Josh picks up a round win after Matt was near the top last time around. Matt drops down to 4th place. And the points remain very close. Matt, though, is dropping into that danger zone rapidly, and it is going to be a rough landing. Only 16 points remaining. That is very much only a couple of rounds away from last chance. But he can definitely hold on here. His last chance rounds, this is the potential for a bit of a comeback for a player, is in a match like this, where everything has been topsy-turvy.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are definitely a few ways this one could go. Acrose still quite a ways ahead, but I think definitely anybody in the bottom 3 can finish anywhere, for sure. Obviously, lower likelihood of coming in first place out of this one, but definitely, we said that the battle was going to be for second, and I think anybody could come second here and get really valuable points.
That man, Thomas, I summon you. Give me a stat.
Oh, the roles have been reversed.
He's been summoned. Is he here? Has he stepped away from his PC?
Wow, we just exposed our producer.
Absolutely outed on that one.
It's the warm-up. This is when I replied to texts.
Listen, there's no time to be flirting with people on Tinder, okay? You gotta get back here. Very important. What stats do you have for us here, Thomas?
Acrose is yet to finish last in a round.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stat. Which, especially for the players, genuinely kind of relevant, because we're going to see players start to drop to last chance. That is just one less player that you're ever going to be able to put behind you, it feels like.
Yeah, well, here we go. Acrose just needs to get across the line here. Honestly, in a few rounds, if everything goes well for Acrose, it could just be over. Like 1 or 2 more maps here, get everybody down onto last chance, get them gone, all done. It is possible, but it's going to need some smooth driving. And right now, there are rounds where, pretty much everybody is able to put together a really good time and come in first place. So definitely needs to stay on his toes.
Yeah, speaking of, there is Acrose bouncing out, but even before that, was level with N7 and behind Josh. So this is the chance for some of these players to get some much-needed points back, especially for Josh out in the lead at the moment, to put a little bit of daylight between himself and N7 as Matt overtakes into second place. Acrose 2.5 seconds down, probably not going to make another impact on this round. This could be that first last place for Acrose. What an appropriately timed stat that I demanded. And it's worked out well, as we do see procession into the finish.
Wow.
And Acrose will pick up his first last place of the match.
Rigged. Boring. Acrose.
Is that the adjective you want to go with, Twiggy? Are you sure?
No, it's not boring. Acrose, though, trying to make it as interesting as possible here. losing out on 10 points. Still, I think even if he lost every round, somebody would still get to last chance before he would reach last chance himself. So it's not the end of the world. But either way, wants to get as many firsts as possible and just keep as big a difference, because the amount of times we've seen a gap be diminished incredibly quickly once players start getting to last chance and start getting eliminated and everybody starts losing points round on round. You really do want a big gap.
Oh, and on these low points at the moment, Josh was looking kind of safe compared to N7 and Matt. Maybe a chance to stay in the lead, but a mistake from Josh in the middle of this round has dropped him behind by over a second at this point. And N7 and Matt, they could look to close that gap a little bit. Acrose, a return to form, sitting out in first place, half a second ahead, looking to just, as you say, put that nail in the coffin, hold on to that lead, heading towards the end. Internet issues notwithstanding, this is going to be a round win. Matt hits the wall. Where's Josh? Through into third place. Matt can't climb the hill, can't readjust in time, and that's disastrous for Matt.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. A really, really big chunk taken out of those points, no matter where other than first. Comes next round, it is going to be a last chance now, and that is, well, N7 could also go last chance if they go last place here, but more likely than not, Matt is going to be alone on last chance next round, so it's just not a nice place to be in, obviously. Oh god, where
Josh?
Where Josh? Where Josh?
Yeah, once again,
there Josh.
There Josh, a long way behind. Unfortunately, that's 4.5 seconds, which means, yeah, Matt is looking to drop down into last chance. N7 unlikely to join him this round. Acrose just going to stay at 70 points possibly as well, and continue to build that buffer while the going is good, while the 0-point rounds are available. Just make sure that you don't drop any further.
Make hay while the sun is shining, I think
That's
is
the one.
The good term for that. And either way, that is what is happening right now. Although the bitrate on my stream for the game is so low that I can't see the names of anybody driving, but I'll try and make something out as Matt tries to catch up here to N7. N7 hits the wall on the way through. Matt soars on through into second place. Doesn't really matter for Matt, but it could matter for N7, but Josh is too far behind to give N7 anything to worry about. So no last chance for N7, but Matt is going to be down on it now.
Yeah, the reason that matters for N7 is that now second place isn't good enough to keep him out of last chance in next round. Needs to now be a round win for N7 to stay out of that red zone. And Matt is in there, is on last chance. And I would love to see a round that doesn't have someone on last chance crash early on. I want to see the drama, I want to see the tension. And hopefully that's what we're going to get here. Is it's clean from everyone except Josh, who has gone into... This time it was the second pole. Last round it was the first pole, but that should be Matt safe for one more round. And N7, on the other hand, will be joining Matt on the last chance. It is looking like at the moment.
Yeah, does seem that way. Josh, stay... Oh, sorry. Josh staying very far behind. Yes, very much so. Matt staying close to Acrose here. Obviously, just wants to stay ahead of fourth position, which right now, absolutely fine. You could lose out on a lot of time and you'd still be... all safe, but right now nothing matters for Matt other than coming third or higher. N7 definitely wants to get a good round out of this one, but not going to be able to catch up to Acrose unless something horrific happens up top, so it's going to be nowhere near getting that one done.
Yeah, Matt will still pick up the second place. Close round there between Matt and N7. There was kind of a little bit of a weird tension there for Matt in that round where, you know, there was a big gap between Matt and Josh in that fourth place. But Matt kind of still wanted to stay in front of N7 as well, you know, didn't want to drive too safe, just in case Acrose made that mistake. So here we go. Triple last chance with Josh dropping down with that last place as well. That kind of snuck up out of nowhere on us. God damn. Yeah,
Acrose probably feeling pretty good.
Yeah, feeling okay on those 70 points, as everyone else is on last.
Unless Acrose comes last seven rounds in a row. We're gonna get an elimination. Come on through. That would be amazing. Come on, Acrose, just DNF every round.
Alright, either way, Twiggy, we're gonna get hyped for this one, because triple last chance is rare.
Yes.
And I'm excited for it because, again, just to remind everyone of what the stakes are at the moment here in British and Irish Pro League Season 2, if you finish in the bottom 6 places in Division 1, you are relegated from Division 1 for next season. You may have a chance to fight your way back to Open Qualifier, something like that. I don't know. Details are all very much up in the air at the moment, at least as far as I'm aware. I probably have an admin somewhere screaming at me that it's all already being laid out. But these three players, the three players on last chance at the moment, having a little bit of a rough time, as you can see from the scoreboard, only picking up a couple of points each in the first couple of weeks. 3 points here from managing to survive this three-way gauntlet that they've set themselves up here, coming away with the second place. Absolutely massive in the fight to try and stay off the bottom of the table.
Well, here we go. Heading into this all-important round here. As long as Acrose just doesn't come last, we're going to have an elimination no matter what. We'll see. What does Acrose do here? You could toy with your food a little bit. You don't even have to, DNF every round. You could just come last in 1 or 2, give them some hope, steal it away from them. Right now, though, not looking to let that happen. N7 gets an awkward gear on the first grass section, falls very far down into 4th position.
Yeah, it's up to Matt and Josh now. Fate in their own hands, just no mistakes from here on out as N7 drops a second behind. Keep an eye on that gap, see how hard N7 is pushing. You'd have to imagine it'll be a little bit hard, but it is extending just a little bit at the moment as well. Still about 8 tenths behind. Josh and Matt keeping clean, both of them neck and neck. They can take it safe at this point. You're deep enough into the map that seconds gap allows you a little bit of a safe drive to the finish, keeping the speed high enough though that you can make it to the end. Onto the dirt. We've seen this dirt be an issue for Josh. It's an issue again. A wheel bang on the outside. Here comes N7. It'll be close. Josh low speed. The gear is awkward. N7 is through. Josh has pace though. It'll be tight to the line. N7 holds on, and Josh eliminated in 4th place. One touch on the dirt is enough.
Yeah, Josh keeps going for almost a ramp cut on that one, trying to touch his wheels to the dirt as quick as possible by going wide. But
we praised him for doing that before as well, going for that ramp cut.
Yeah, but he didn't get it. He didn't get the ramp cut, and he went too far to the right. The worst of both worlds. Oh no, another wall touch, but this one's from Matt right at the start. Oh no, it just gets worse. Matt, wake up, wake up, wake up. You've got a game to play right now. Acrose, though, loses a bit of time. It could be possible for Matt to get that overtake done.
Yeah, will get the overtake done in front of Acrose now, but having Acrose right behind you within a couple of tenths, not a comfortable position for many drivers in Div 1 of BIPL, and it will not feel comfortable for Matt right now. Acrose, he had the chance, 3 rounds, 3 eliminations. What a way it would have been to win this match. It's in peril at the moment, though, as Matt holds onto this lead for the moment. Acrose is gaining, though. What a turn that is on the plastic. Has closed the gap to absolutely nothing. Inside a tenth, so close to the corner. Acrose driving flawlessly through this map at the moment. A little bit wider on the dirt. Should be able to carry a little bit more speed. He's so wide. He's definitely overtaking Matt here, who slips back down into 3rd place, who touches a wall, who drops behind, and Acrose will do it cleanly. Matt with a stylish sideways bounce into the finish, but it is another elimination, and Acrose had to go headhunting for that one.
Well, not 3 first places in a row, but it is very possible now that we do get 3 eliminations in 3 rounds. N7, the final player to challenge Acrose here, who has lost his 70-point standing, but could get this done. We went onto this map with 3 players on last chance. We are now in a 1v1, and Acrose has already pulled well ahead of N7 at this point in the map. He was down by about 4 tenths already with an awkward grass section. Now he's ahead by 3. And he was able to make up a couple of those tenths last time as well. So if he's able to keep that style up, he's going to be half a second ahead of N7 by the time we get to the finish line. Can N7 challenge for that one?
Only one door left for Grim Reaper Acrose to knock on here at the end of this match. Josh eliminated. Matt eliminated. N7 firmly behind Acrose. 4 tenths is the lead. Heading into the final turns. What look to be the final turns of this match overall. And Acrose very close to that wall. Keeps the car out of it. Around the plastic one more time. Plenty of speed to make it to the risky finish. And Acrose will do it. 3 rounds. 3 opponents dropped. Importantly for N7, still outlasts Matt and Josh. Picks up the 2nd place. A full 3 points. And the 7th seed for Div 1 coming into the season with no contest, with a 3rd place in week 1, is now up to those 5 points and potentially looking to avoid that bottom 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's really impressive, obviously, from Acrose. I think his job made as easy for him as it could have been by the other 3, fighting tooth and nail against each other to the very end. It does end in 3 last chances there at the end, all of which are dispatched within 3 rounds. So pretty much perfect circumstances for Acrose, pounces on it. And I think very much for everybody else, they're going to be wondering what happened, because it was over in the blink of an eye.
Hey, we said the triple last chance a little bit rare. You know, you don't see it that often. Did also happen in the other Div 1 match happening at the moment over on the second stream as well. OC_1895, I believe that one is happening on. Unless it's it's still happening over there. Hasn't swapped over to Padster's stream today. And we will hopefully now be getting Acrose in here for a quick interview to ask him a couple of questions about how he is feeling after that one. I mean, came in as heavy favourite, and I think, you know, we all kind of knew it, but still had to put up the performance and got challenged in a few rounds there nonetheless. Those players, the other 3 guys, really still managing to put on a bit of a strong performance, still managing to show up when it counted and do some decent rounds. So, with Acrose ready, with Acrose here, welcome to the stream and congratulations on a pretty strong win.
Yeah. Hello, thank you. It's kind of expected, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, with that said, right, you were a lot higher up the standings coming into this match than the other 3 drivers, all of them kind of sitting, unfortunately, down near the bottom. What a match it was between the 3 of them, right? I'm just going to focus on that because triple last chance, all of them arriving there at the same time. Did you kind of have any predictions on who was going to win at that point? Like, who were you backing anyone in particular?
I had absolutely no care who came what position, but I did expect that, like, N7 would have won by a bit more of a margin. I was quite surprised to see that sort of very, very close triple finalist, and I was quite surprised to see MattT pull over Josh as well, because I know Josh is a very good player, but only in full speed. Keep pressing.
Was there any kind of nerves going on there, or was that just, you know, business as usual, just get things done? Obviously, you knew you were the highest seed going into it. You knew you had the best record going into it. Was it just put your head down and get it done?
Yeah, just no nerves, but I was a bit mad that I didn't get Epos's local record on Clueless, but oh well.
I mean, with that win as well, you move up to 10 points, double digits in the overall standings, and uncontested at the moment, 5th place. If Jorday does win the other match that is going on at the moment, he will join you on 10 points, and you'll have to share, so sorry about that. How are you feeling about, you know, the map pack now that we're there? You know, the same question I've been asking everyone. How are you feeling about the competition at this point halfway through?
I like most of the maps, but I did always have a problem with the Ski Freak map. I can't remember what it's called, like Sunflower's Petal or whatever. That map is
Sun Petal Garden.
Sun Petal Garden. That's it. Yeah, that's the one. I'm so bad at that. And the Buzzy map as well. Really, really, that's my worst map. And I had a shambles on that in the quali seeding. But every other map is like not bad.
Speaking of a question we've been asking everybody, Acrose, what is your favorite breakfast item / meal?
Oh, favorite breakfast all time. I'm just a cereal guy, to be honest.
Cereal?
Yeah,
fair enough.
Cereal.
Any sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning I had porridge, but I don't know. Usually I have like Wheatos. I don't know.
Okay. Wheatos kind of slap. I remember having Wheatos a lot as a kid. I like a chocolate cereal.
Yeah. A bit unhealthy, but yes, it's not the worst.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah. Hey, Jorday won the other match, which means that you are now sharing 5th place with Jorday. Both of you tied on 10 points at the moment there. Upcoming matches, you still have tough players to play as well. Week 4, you will be playing up against Hendo and Bozbez. It's pretty rough. It's a tough match. And then week 5, you are going to be playing up against Jorday, Babs, and Jaffa, which that's looking like it could be a fairly decisive match for final standings as well.
Both of these matches are, I think, around my sort of level. We've got probably Hendo, maybe, and then maybe Jaffa and Jorday if they're very well practiced. The last match is everybody seems to be at that sort of high level.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable for it. I just got to see how Hendo's doing on the day, because I know he seems to be very volatile at the moment. I don't know. We'll see.
I like that word. Seems to be very volatile. That's a good word to use.
Yeah, it's a very polite way of putting the sentiment there. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Twiggy, any further questions for Acrose here to wrap up the stream towards the end of the evening?
Yeah, no, again, I got my breakfast one in. I'm pretty happy.
Most important thing. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Acrose, for you, anything in particular you'd like to throw out there before we let you go for the evening?
Ben.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Acrose, thank you very much for joining us for that one. Congratulations again on the win, and tied 5th place with Jorda in the competition.
Yep. Just
with that, Twiggy, we come to the end of the evening, and I think we should take a quick look. I'm going to take a gamble. I know we have the Div 1 standings available, so let's take another quick standings, and then I'm going to give a warning that we'll hopefully look at the Div 2 standings afterwards as well, very quickly as well. So Bozbez and Epos are the 2 players who come out of those first top of the table clashes with the wins, both of them sitting uncontested on 12 points. Hendo and Wizzy just behind, both of them still managing to come second in their match, although it was a pretty close run thing for Hendo there.
Yeah, definitely. I think Hendo had a difficult time, but just held on. I think that was probably the best outcome that was possible once he realized that Epos was staying ahead. Was let's just hold on to second there, and it worked out. Gaffer Padawan did a really good job, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, and then, of course, Wizzy still there as well with the 11 points. Acrose and Jorde both tied on points at the moment. We've heard it there. Acrose feeling maybe relatively confident in some of those upcoming matches and the ability to start to separate from the pack, maybe push for a top 4, top 3, maybe finish, or at least stay in the top 5. Mm-hmm. But I think there's some strong competition kind of nipping at the heels down there just behind them as well. Jaffa and Babs pretty close behind. Kai improving week on week, a 4th, a 3rd, now a 2nd, managing to climb up. N7, I think just a little bit unfortunate there, missing week 2 as well. It's going to be very hard to have a strong finish, but we saw a decent performance from them today as well.
Yeah, I think the thing with this div is it's really good. I think we've got a really good, strong kind of competition for first place. We've also got a really strong competition for the relegation zone.
Yeah, because speaking of that relegation zone, N7 does manage to pull at least to the top of it for the moment, but definitely not safe yet. Nobody Floyd, Matt and Davinia and Liffy and Josh all kind of a little bit scared down there at the moment. Davinia with a missed week here as well. It's going to hurt the points. It's going to make life a little bit more difficult in getting out, but should maybe be able to pick up some more points in later weeks and kind of separate out from that too. But I guess we'll see, right? There's 2 weeks to play and still very much anything can happen in this division.
Yeah, well, we can take a look at 2 as well, where we have just seen some of those games. And yeah, I mean, 2 players obviously towards the top of that are going to be getting promoted, correct? I can't remember if that is correct. Yes, two which are currently Vig and Shawnee at the moment, sitting comfortably on 12 points. But again, we've got a good competition going for that. We've got several players up above 9 points. And even below that, it's quite tight in the midfield as well.
Yeah, staying very, very tight in the midfield as well. You can see Div 2 a little bit more chaotic as well in terms of the standings compared to where people are. Bagels still staying up there with a tied 4th place. The 2nd place finish today. Not quite good enough to reach up for that tied 3rd place, unfortunately, dropping a little bit away. But definitely players out of position here. Bagels and Eggy are the 2 that my eyes are drawn to, who are really outperforming their seeding, as we said at the top of their match. Yeah,
for sure. And I'm interested to see if that's going to keep happening. Obviously, we're seeing a lot more variation in placement round on round with this one. You can see, for instance, Barry comes 2nd, 3rd, and 1st in 3 different weeks. So could be very interesting to see if anybody pulls out anything interesting there. If some of those top players are going to get a lower down placement, if some of the players towards the bottom are going to shake things up a little bit. It's definitely, Div 2 is kind of the place that you'd expect people to do that.
And well, that's, I think, about going to wrap it up for us here. Still 2 more weeks of competition to come here in BIPL Season 2. All the maps now released, so no new maps to come, no more surprises for the players, and in some ways kind of expect that to start to play in a little bit as players just improve on the maps they're already good at. Focus goes in on the maps that maybe you think you can win more on. I'm just looking forward to these final 2 weeks of competition, Twiggy. There's still plenty that can happen. There's still some matchups between undefeated players to take place. We're going to separate everyone out.
Yeah, for sure. Final words before you leave. Ben.
Ben, goodbye.